Ouch. So for the second year in a row, the royal family has snubbed, as the media puts it, Meghan Markle by not publicly wishing her happy birthday, breaking with all royal traditions and not making public any kind of congratulatory message for Meghan Markle on her birthday. Well, I'm not surprised, but for reasons that will come clear in this video. So welcome back. We are here on Secrets with more free-flowing, free thoughts of mine, opinions aloft, and just generally what I'm thinking about. And yes, it ventures into gossip land now and again, because I am not beyond reading a bit of gossip myself, and this I found quite interesting. Because on the same day that the news and the media have reported that the royal family has, quote, snubbed Meghan Markle by not wishing her happy birthday, she has also been quoted to say that she has barely scratched the surface of her experiences with the royal family. Now, this, as a lawyer, because I always think as a lawyer, since qualifying, I haven't always been a lawyer. I've always been in business, actually. So I've always had kind of an inquiring and varied thought process. But since becoming a lawyer, I also think quite analytically, generally objectively. And so I think of all these things in the round, and I think of what might have an impact on other things. And so when I hear of she has been quoted to say that she's barely scratched the surface of her experiences, the first thing that I think is, well, what else is there to say? They've done the interview with Oprah. They've done the memoirs in Spare. There was rumour of a Spare 2 because he said there's enough material to write another book. These will now begin to feel like veiled threats, that there's much more to come. More in a book, and that she's barely scratched the surface. So thinking as a lawyer, I think to myself, well, what more is there? What is there left to say? What have they left out? What more are they going to say? Now, the royal family is not known for being litigious and suing people for defamatory statements, at least until Prince Harry quite famously took his cases to court on various different aspects of law, which I've covered in other videos. If you haven't, you can catch up in the video list below, both here and on my, quote, main channel, Black Belt Barrister. But litigious, the royal family is generally not. But there is potentially a case to be made here, in the making, unfolding before our eyes, if Meghan says that she's barely scratched the surface and therefore implying that there's lots more to come. What more is there? Because if she's got a lot more to say, and she goes on to say very much more, those could turn out to be very serious, harmful statements, which de facto could be defamatory, for which the royal family could take action. I very much doubt they will, but they potentially could. Because if statements are made which are inherently defamatory and affecting the royal reputation, then they might well consider taking action. Now, as I said, I'm not surprised at the lack of birthday wishes, given that they probably expected this, because I think everyone should really assume that there is some level of communication going on in the background, even if it's not publicly known, even if it's not reported. I suspect that there is some communication going on in the background. And so they must know that there is this inherent undertone, underlying threat of potential new information, new reporting, new publications. Even this, what's reported now. And the reason I'm doing this video is that I, as a British citizen who have respect for the royal family, I take issue with statements like this, to say that she's barely scratched the surface of her experiences there and what happened. And obviously she means negative things. My view is I don't think she means positive things. I think she means negative things. And without particularizing them, without setting them out in great detail, who, what, where, when, how, why, describe and explain those complaints, without all of that, no one can really analyze and get to the bottom of the truth of what she's really saying. And of course, there is no real way of anyone the subject of those complaints and those statements that she may go on to make to defend themselves and to correct the record. Now, of course, they'd be entitled to do so. If a statement were made, if someone made a statement about me, I would be entitled to come out and rebut that statement in quite robust terms. If I were defending my reputation, if I were defending anything that I've done or said, etc., I would be entitled to robustly rebut and defend. And so if there were further statements, if there were further publications, books, podcasts, interviews, etc., they would be entitled, the royal family would be entitled to defend themselves. And as the ever famous saying goes, never complain and never explain. Well, I think they might start to explain at some point. I think if there are further statements, further harmful statements, whether or not there's any truth to those statements, I'm not saying that, I'm not totally disparaging here and saying that there may not be any truth to the statements and complaints that she either has made or may go on to make. There may well be. I don't know. That's sort of the point. I don't know without any of the particularization of those complaints and any response to those complaints, neither of which we really have right now, so I can't say one way or the other. But without all of that, it leaves this inherent negative impression. So if you were to look at this as an ordinary defamation angle, what would the ordinary meaning of anything said be? At the moment, it's just an inference from what she's said. If she's quoted to say that she's barely scratched the surface of the experiences, it's an inference as to what she might go on to say. And I take issue with that, because it's a bit like saying, I have loads of really terrible stuff to say about this guy, or even not that. It's like saying, I have loads of stuff that I could tell you about this guy. Wait till I tell you about this stuff. And then not say any more. And then if I do say anything, just say, the experience was terrible. He treated me really badly, but without naming who it was, or without particularizing what it was that happened, why he treated me badly, whatever. It gives you that negative impression. It leaves you with that inference drawn. And so if it's a group of people, if you can narrow it down to specific people within a group, that might suffice. And if there's particular references to an individual, even if it's not expressly naming that individual, there may be something there as well. So I do take issue with these statements in the press. I think they're reporting, they're doing their job. I'm not criticizing the press. That's what they're there for. They wouldn't print it if people didn't read it. Much like my videos, I wouldn't make them if people didn't watch them. They are just my thoughts after all, but I like to share my thoughts. And if you like watching my thoughts and hearing my thoughts, then I'll keep making the videos. And it's these things I do have these thoughts about. And otherwise, I just think them and they go nowhere. But I know some of you have asked me to talk about these things. At least one or two people have already asked me about this very video that I'm doing now. So I thought I will do this video, share these thoughts. And on this secrets channel, I'd like to keep it varied for no reason other than, well, if for no other reason than someone once told me that I couldn't have a varied channel. It would have to be one niche and really diving down onto one niche. And I don't accept that. I think I can talk about various different things on this channel, and you will either watch it or you won't. I won't be offended if you don't like to watch everything that I put out here. Check out my new channel, which is Daniel Shensmith. I'll link it in the description. It's talking about money and how to create wealth, build businesses, solve problems, and that kind of thing. If you're interested in that, please go and check that out. I need to find the time to go back there and make more videos there. I am taking a step back from work a little bit so I can focus more on videos. So let me know in the comment section what more you want to see, both here, Black Belt Secrets, my personal thoughts on different topics, my main channel, I say that's my main channel, it's just the bigger channel, Black Belt Barrister, on legal topics, my other channel, my money channel, Daniel Shansmith, and of course the floof down here. She's got her own channel as well. And I've only just realised, because I turned the camera around, that I had the mic on the wrong setting, so apologies if the audio sounds like I've been underwater or something. I will fix that next time. I buy decent equipment and then I don't use it properly, so my apologies for the sound. I'll try to clean it up in post and I'll see how that goes. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. Please do subscribe. I will give you more thoughts on anything you ask me to on this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.